G'day. First thing I just wanted to say is that on Monday you wouldn't have received a devotional video. That was my fault. I accidentally scheduled my devotional video for Saturday when I should have scheduled it for Monday. So if you didn't get a chance to see the devotional on kindness, you can go to your emails from Saturday and it should be there. You might need to check in your junk. Or if you want to just go to our YouTube channel and look there, the kindness devotional video is on the YouTube channel and you can watch it there. I'm very sorry about that. Thank you for exercising the spiritual fruit of kindness and patience with me because I made a mistake. Today's fruit is faithfulness. Our lives as human beings, we rely on the faithfulness of others and they rely on the faithfulness of us. Faithfulness is the glue that binds us all together. We need to be able to trust each other, because we're constantly making promises and we're constantly agreeing on things. And in order for society to function, we need to be able to trust one another. And so we trust the laws that govern us. We trust the people that we work with. We trust our employers. We entrust our employees if we have them. We trust the schools that educate us. We trust the banks that house our finance a little bit. We trust the doctors, we trust our friends, we trust our spouses. We need trust in order to function as a society. But the problem is that we've become a less and less trusting group of people because we've grown in our suspicions of the big institutions out there, and probably rightly so, because they have proven themselves to be untrustworthy. Particularly noteworthy in Australia in recent years is the way that banks have proven themselves to be untrustworthy, and unfortunately the way that the church has proven itself to be untrustworthy as well. And so our society has not been so trusting. We're less inclined to be committed to things because institutions have proven themselves to be untrustworthy. And this lack of trustworthiness, it creeps into our personal relationships as well, and it leaves a deep, deep hurt. When a spouse is not trustworthy, or when you have an absent parent, or a lying friend, or manipulative colleague, these things are all painful. And they're all a result of somebody not being trustworthy, somebody not being faithful. So we might ask the question, well, who is there left to trust? And we might be tempted to say, well, we can trust ourselves at least. But the truth is that if you look at yourself deeply enough, if you navel gaze enough, you'll realize that that's not the answer either. Because we can be contradictory to even ourselves. Fortunately for us, the God of the Bible is a trustworthy God. He is presented as being a trustworthy God all throughout the Bible, a God who keeps his word, a God who is faithful. We've noticed this as we've been reading through the Psalms for the past few months in these devotion videos. Psalm 36 says that God's faithfulness, it reaches to the skies. Psalm 86 says that God is slow to anger and that he is abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness. Even God's name, the way that he has revealed himself in the Old Testament, that with the name Yahweh, in the Hebrew language, that name Yahweh, it means I am who I am. Now what that means is that whatever God is, that's exactly what he is. So his very name means that he is faithful to who he is. And this, for us, it's a great delight to have a God who is faithful. It's probably his most important trait, because if he wasn't faithful, then we couldn't confidently say much else about him anyway. If he was only loving most of the time and then sometimes he was sporadically harsh, well, that's not helpful for us. If anything, that's unsettling, because being sporadic is painful. He's not predictable. But being faithful is a blessing. And so, because being faithful is a blessing and God has blessed us with his faithfulness, God has also called us, his people, who are empowered by his Holy Spirit, to be faithful as well. So let me ask you this, and let's start to think about this for ourselves. Have you proven yourself to be faithful? Have you proven yourself to be a person of your word, a person who is consistent, a person who has integrity between what you say and what you do, the things that you agree to, the things that you promise, and the way that you act? Let me ask you this. Those of you who have been publicly baptized, have you remained faithful to the agreement that you made to follow Jesus, or the promise that you made that you would seek him? Those of you who are married, have you remained faithful to the promises that you made on your wedding day? Now, they're the very formal kind of settings where we make promises, but we do this in our everyday lives as well, with our friends and with our family. We agree to things, we say things, we're making promises all the time. It's how society works. And so, are you proving yourself to be faithful to the things that you say? This is a big challenge, I think. But I think that if we as Christians can be those who are being faithful, then we can be an amazing blessing to the people who are around us. In the same way that God's faithfulness is a blessing to us, because it means that we know how he's going to act. We know what he is going to be like. We can predict how he will respond. That's such an amazing blessing for us. And we can be an amazing blessing for other people when we are also faithful to our word, to our character, when we have integrity. It's a blessing to those around us, and it's a wonderful witness to what our God is like. So let me challenge you to grow in faithfulness.